All right, let's head to the Himalayas today.
Ooh, sounds exciting.
To Bhutan, the land of happiness. We're doing a deep dive into an article called The Heart of Bhutan. It goes beyond just pretty pictures. It's about their spiritual side, the social scene, and how they approach the environment.
It's a really fascinating read.
So are you ready to maybe uncover some secrets to a happier life?
Absolutely, let's dive in.
Okay, one thing that jumped out at me was how much they truly care for their environment.
Yeah. It's not just about protecting it. It's like it's built into their beliefs, you know?
So it's more than just putting up a national park sign.
Oh, way more. Over half of Bhutan is protected parkland, and they actually live by it. Their practices are so sustainable.
Putting us to shame a little, maybe.
Maybe a lot. It's like their environmentalism. It's part of who they are.
It's in their DNA.
Exactly.
Now, the article has this great story about a guy named Sonam Norzen.
Oh, yeah, Sona. He's a Buddhist, and he's been rescuing animals for like 18 years through this group, the Jungsa Animal Rescue Association.
Yeah, through them. And get this, he saved fish from a drying pond.
I know.
He carried them to a monastery pond.
It's a perfect example of how their beliefs play out in real life.
So I have to ask, what do you think that says about the Bhutanese people?
Well, think about it. How often do you worry about a fish? It really makes you see how different their worldview is. Like, are we too focused on ourselves?
It is humbling. Makes you think.
Yeah.
But, you know, the article doesn't pretend everything is perfect. It talks about the struggles in remote villages, like, what was it called?
Rigidong.
Right, Rijidong. They don't even have electricity yet.
It's a good reality check. We're talking about sustainable living, and they're still waiting for the lights to turn on.
And they're stuck with these paraffin lamps.
Which, as the article says, are not only expensive, but also don't give off much light.
It's tough. But you can feel their hope, their belief that things will get better.
It's inspiring, that resilience.
But Bhutan isn't just about catching up with the modern world. There's this whole other side, the shamanism.
Right. It's fascinating. We meet the shaman, Suresh. He's from the Hindu community in southern Bhutan.
And his story. He became a shaman at 12.
12, after he got really sick and had these, like, guiding dreams.
It shows how the old ways and the new ways mix in Bhutan. You have young people going to cities, getting educated.
But then you have Suresh, still dedicated to helping people with ancient rituals.
It makes you think there are lots of paths to happiness.
Absolutely.
And speaking of well-being, Bhutan really cares about healthcare,
Yeah.
even in the far corners of the country.
It's true. The article talks about this dentist, Tenzin. He started something called mountain dentistry.
A dentist who climbs mountains.
Well, not exactly. He has his mobile clinic, and he travels to these really remote villages. The terrain is rough. The weather's unpredictable.
Wow.
Yeah. It shows how much they value healthcare for everyone. It doesn't matter where you live.
Not like in a lot of places.
Right. They're not just talking about happiness. They're creating a society where it's possible.
And this brings us back to Sonam, the animal rescuer. He's also working to save yaks.
Yes. And this is where it gets really interesting because in Bhutanese Buddhism, saving animals is connected to earning good karma.
It's like a spiritual thing.
Very much so. They believe that animals could have been their ancestors in past lives. The article tells us about this family, Dima's family. For them, rescuing a yak, it's a deeply spiritual act.
So it's almost like they're saving their own family.
In a way, yes.
But I imagine this must be tough for yak farmers. Their animals are how they make a living.
Yeah, it's a tricky balance. They need to survive, but they also want to do what's right.
It reflects a bigger issue, you know? How do you hold on to tradition while moving into the future?
That's a question a lot of places are struggling with.
How to progress without losing what matters.
Exactly. And that's something we'll keep unpacking as we go deeper into Bhutan.
You know, it really hits you how Bhutan has this whole way of life, this holistic view.
Yeah, it's not like happiness is a separate thing for them.
It's all connected nature, compassion, community.
It's woven right into their society.
And this is where I want to bring in you listening right now.
Oh, good idea.
What parts of this really speak to you? How can we, you and I, bring a little bit of Bhutan into our own lives?
That's the big question, isn't it? We can't just copy them.
Right?
But there's got to be something we can learn.
Like Sonam and the animals.
Yeah.
Can we all be a little kinder, more compassionate to everything around us?
Absolutely. Imagine if everyone lived that way.
And their healthcare system, everyone's covered, no matter where they are.
It's healthcare as a right, not just something we talk about.
Bhutan's actually doing it.
It really shows you what a society can do when they put people first.
And of course, the environment. They're protecting all that beauty.
It's a huge lesson for all of us, especially now with climate change and all that.
Bhutan's like a reminder we're part of nature. not separate from it.
We need a healthy planet to be healthy ourselves.
So Bhutan has a lot to teach us, that's for sure. This deep dive has been eye-opening, really.
Yeah.
But, well, the article was about southern Bhutan, right? Which already feels so different from the north, the mountains.
Yeah,
What else is out there? What other incredible stories haven't we heard yet?
you're right. We've just scratched the surface.
We have. And that's what I love about these deep dives. You get a taste.
You get hooked.
Exactly. And it makes you want to learn more, go deeper. Who knows what other amazing things we'd find in Bhutan.
It's a whole world waiting to be explored.
It really is. It's like we got a peek into another way of life, another way of thinking. We've just scratched the surface, haven't we?
We have, but even just this little glimpse into Bhutan,
It really makes you think.
it does. It makes you wonder, how can we bring those lessons home?
How can we all, live with more compassion, be more connected to nature?
And create a world where happiness isn't just a goal, but a way of life, right?
It's a big challenge.
Huge. But Bhutan shows us, hey, it's possible.
So to everyone listening, keep exploring, right?
Yeah, read more about Bhutan, learn about their culture.
Maybe even plan a trip
It's a place that'll shake up how you see the world.
and give you hope.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into the heart of Bhutan.
I've loved it.
And until next time, keep diving.